July 11, Thursday, this is Bitcoin TV's channel. I'm Zhu. Let's take a look at the 24-hour headlines of the cryptocurrency industry. Recently, the price of Bitcoin has fallen below the 60,000 mark, reaching a low 53,500. The total market value of Bitcoin has shrunk significantly from a high of 1.4 trillion to around 1.1 trillion US dollar, a drop of more than 21%. Year on year, the total market value of cryptocurrencies has dropped from a high of 2.7 trillion to around 2.05 trillion, a drop of more than 24%. As of 1:30 p.m. today, Bitcoin has fallen to around 57,000, but its market share has remained at a high range of 53%. Bitcoin has fallen even more sharply than altcoin. Among the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market value, Doge has fallen 6% in the past 7 days, and Tong, which was previously a lonely flower among thousand flowers, has fallen 6%, and only SOL has risen 2%. The altcoins have begun to gradually enter the decline and elimination wave. In the future, here will be more altcoins that exist in name only and gradually subdue to zero value. In the past week, the total market value of stablecoins has increased slightly. Among them, the total market value of USDT has dropped from 112.5 billion to 112.2 billion, and the funds have decreased by 300 million in the past week. While the market value of USDC has increased from 32.7 billion to 34.1 billion, an increase of 1.4 billion. The overall market value for other stablecoins, DAI and FDUSD, has not changed much. In fact, there is no significant large outflow of funds in the stablecoin market. On the contrary, there has been a significant increase with the decline in Bitcoin, which shows that the price of Bitcoin in the short term has aroused a certain wave of bargain hunting, who is secretly collecting chips. So data shows that the number of Bitcoin whales and the shark wallets is increasing, while small traders have sold their Bitcoin during the downturn. The number of Bitcoin wallet addresses holding at least 10 Bitcoins increased by 261 in July, which should measure traders about in the long-term bullish future. Finally, let's look at the NVRV ratio of Bitcoin's realized value. If the NVRV ratio exceeds 3.7, it means that Bitcoin has reached the overvalued selling range. And if it's less than 1, it means that Bitcoin has entered the undervalued bargain hunting range. When Bitcoin hits its all-time high, the NVRV ratio was as high as 2.78. But as Bitcoin continued to fluctuate and fall, the NVRV ratio continues to amplify the downward trend. The latest NVRV ratio has dropped from 2.78 to around 1.87, a drop of about 32%. Bitcoin has dropped from 73,000 to around 57,000, a drop of about 22%. It can be seen that the bubble of Bitcoin has been clearly digested, and the continued decline in NVRV ratio indicates that the bargain hunting range of Bitcoin is coming soon. Okay, please like and follow us. We'll help you sort out the news closest to money in the 24-hour cryptocurrency, blockchain, and mining industry. What asset category do Bitcoin and Ethereum belong to? The question has always been a thorn in the side of U.S. regulators. On August 8, 2013, a U.S. federal judge determined that Bitcoin is a currency and should be subject to regulation of the U.S. Securities Act. On March 26, 2014, the U.S. Internal Revenue Service regarded Bitcoin as properly for the purpose of taxing Bitcoin. On September 18, 2015, the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission determined that Bitcoin is a commodity and required companies engaged in digital currency derivatives trading to register and be regulated by it. In late July 2017, the U.S. SEC defined Bitcoin as a currency, but has been vague on whether Ethereum is a security. Recently, this surely has finally been confirmed. Let's take a look.
According to Crypto Potato, the chairman of the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rustin Benham, said that the Illinois court has confirmed that Bitcoin and Ethereum are digital commodities under the Commodity Exchange Act. The decision was made at a U.S. Senate committee hearing on Wednesday, and Rustin Benham said that in addition to Bitcoin and Ethereum, 70 to 80% of cryptocurrencies are non-securities.
Just last week, a district court in the Northern District of Illinois entered summary judgment in favor of the CFTC in a case involving fraud by an unregistered entity that promised steady returns in digital asset commodities such as Bitcoin and Ether. In its decision, the court reaffirmed that both Bitcoin and Ether are commodities under the Commodity Exchange Act.
As we all know, the division of responsibilities of U.S. regulatory agencies has not been very clear, but the SEC regulates securities and the CFTC regulates commodities. This has formed a tacit understanding in recent years. The two have been arguing over the asset classification of Ethereum and Bitcoin. In fact, to gain some power and profit for their own institutions, this time the CFTC took the lead in determining that Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities, which not only gave Ethereum a good name, but also actually ended the dispute between the CFTC and its sister agencies over the classification of these cryptocurrencies. Now that SEC has also stopped investigating Ethereum, it seems that the future of Ethereum is about to pick up. Hester Peirce, the commissioner of the US SEC, has always been the most friendly regulator to cryptocurrencies. She holds a liberal stance on cryptocurrency regulation and has been committed to promoting a clearer and more reasonable regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies. Therefore, she's known as the crypto mom in the cryptocurrency industry. Former US President Trump is striving to win the US presidential election in November this year. He has recently made speeches in support of cryptocurrencies, which has led many analysts to believe that if the Republicans come to power, Hester Peirce may replace Gary Gensler as the next SEC chairman. How important is her influence on global cryptocurrency regulation? Why is she considered a potential candidate for the next SEC chairman?
That U.S. regulators, and particularly the SEC, has approached this. It has been using enforcement, and in some ways it's because it changes the dynamic of the conversation if you're having it in an enforcement action versus having an open public discussion about what the right regulatory framework for this new and emerging industry is.
Hester Peirce's support for cryptocurrency is different from many of her colleagues at the U.S. SEC. Although the SEC is cautious about crypto assets, Peirce has been pushing for a more balanced, innovation-friendly regulatory framework. She believes that overly strict regulation may inhibit the growth and potential of the cryptocurrency industry. Former SEC official John Reed Stark predicted that if the Republicans enter the White House, Gary Gensler may be replaced by Hester Peirce. If she becomes the chairman of the SEC, most of the SEC's crypto-related enforcement actions and interference will come to an abrupt end.
SEC Chairman Gary Gensler is most criticized for his excessive regulation of the cryptocurrency market. As the most friendly SEC commissioner to the cryptocurrency community, Hester Peirce has had a positive impact on the cryptocurrency community. Hester Peirce often objects to Gary Gensler's tough stance within the SEC, forming a check and balance force, which makes Gary Gensler more cautious in formulating policies. Her views have a certain influence in the cryptocurrency community, and the public attention aroused has also put pressure on Gary Gensler. If the appointment of this crypto mom is successful, it may mark a 180-degree turn in SEC's cryptocurrency regulation. Of course, we can't say too much before Gary Gensler took office. He also supported cryptocurrencies. What will be the final result? So let's wait and see. The 2024 Bitcoin Conference is an important cryptocurrency industry event hosted by the well-known media group Bitcoin Magazine. Every summer, Web3 practitioners from all over the world come to the venue, but it has always been a self-entertainment for us Web3 people. So this year's Bitcoin conference is different, and the original conference schedule has been set but suddenly adjusted. Why? This adjustment is to make room for a prime time for an extremely distinguished special guest.
The Bitcoin conference's official Twitter account confirmed that Trump will speak at this year's Bitcoin conference. Subsequently, well-known cryptocurrency media, such as Bitcoin Magazine and CoinDesk, also followed up on the report. Trump is scheduled to give a 30-minute speech at 2 p.m. on July 27th, the closing day of the conference. The event not only brought together many political heavyweights, including presidential candidate Robert Kennedy Jr., former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, and Republican Senator Bill Hagerty.
The former president's attendance will be one of the biggest highlights of this year's Bitcoin event. We will see what he says then. Since publicly embracing the cryptocurrency field at the NFT event this spring, Trump has become increasingly interested in Bitcoin and the entire crypto ecosystem. And it has even included policies to promote the development of Bitcoin in the core issues of the Republican Party. According to the current situation, Trump's chances of returning to the White House may be greater. In this way, Trump's attitude towards cryptocurrency is very important and may affect the cryptocurrency market at the end of this year and next year. As several traditional financial giants gradually touch the field of encryption, especially the issuance of Bitcoin ETH and the great progress of Ethereum ETH, Goldman Sachs can no longer sit still. On January 16 this year, CoinDesk also reported that Goldman Sachs Group is considering investing in digital assets. Sources within the bank said that Goldman Sachs has issued an information request to explore the custody of encrypted assets. Seeing that the pie of cryptocurrencies is getting bigger and bigger, it has attracted widespread attention. Even the presidential election needs to take the industry into consideration. Naturally, this 150-year-old banking giant also wants to have a piece of the pie. So where to start?
In an interview with Fortune, Matthew McDermott, global head of digital assets at Goldman Sachs, said that he intends to expand the company's cryptocurrency products and will launch 3 tokenized projects by the end of the year. McDermott said that he plans to launch these projects with major clients by the end of this year. Although McDermott declined to disclose specific details about the 3 projects, he still stated that he was ready to create a market for tokenized real-world assets, RWA. In addition, he also said that these projects will rely entirely on blockchain, and the RWA market will stand out in terms of execution speed and expanding the types of assets that can be used as collateral.
Yeah, I think, look, you touch on a lot of good points there. So I think in terms of tokenization, when I talk about the creation of marketplaces with the broader cross-section of stakeholders, there's no lack of appetite, from the many different forums I'm involved in globally, in terms of the cross-section of stakeholders in the market, be that sell side, buy side, and as I said, the kind of FMIs. And so it's kind of fine-tuning what is it exactly they need. So in the context of tokenization,
in other words, Goldman Sachs is targeting financial institutions, not retail investors. With its new products, RWA can be said to be a bridge between cryptocurrency and the real world. It's a token that can be traded on the chain on behalf of real assets, which is equivalent to capital securitization. Goldman Sachs intends to get involved in the field of cryptocurrency from this point, which is also a more cautious choice. As for cryptocurrency, Goldman Sachs has actually been trying it for a long time. In early April 2021, Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon said he believed that the Bitcoin and digital currency markets would soon usher in a big chance. We can also see from this that since the US regulators approved the listing of Bitcoin ETF, traditional finance has also gradually embraced cryptocurrencies. We're also happy to see this happen. Okay, that's all for today's show, and finally, let's take a look at the OK Express. Do you know what the 5 laws of stupid people are? So first, the actual number of stupid people is far beyond your imagination. You can never escape dealing with stupid people. Second, a person's stupidity and his education level have nothing to do with social class. There is a certain proportion of stupid people in any group. Third, stupid people are harmful to others and themselves and even harm themselves. Fourth, people will underestimate the harm caused by stupid people. Dealing with stupid people will always cost a lot in the end. Fifth, stupid people are the most dangerous type of people, more terrible than bad people. Bad people have clear goals and can be prevented based on their behavior, while stupid people are genetic mutations in combination. Their stupidity is not self-aware and you can't understand their brain circuits at all. They can understand their stupidity as kindness, integrity, fairness, and justice and concepts that can justify themselves and then do stupid things to harm the people. Guo Zhu of the Han Dynasty boasted that he was smart and filial to bury his son and serve his mother, to win the name of filial piety through the ages. Iya of the spring and autumn period cooked his son and offered rice to show his loyalty to Duke Huan of Qi. If he was not extremely stupid, he would never do such cruel things. Many people cannot distinguish between stupidity and dumb. Slow reaction, poor thinking ability, and slow learning are stupid. The most obvious characteristic of stupid people is that they are extremely stupid and don't know it. Generally, the dumber the person is, the less they know it. So you meet a stupid person, try to avoid them. Okay, the above is the main content of today's program. Our channel focuses on curating valuable news in the cryptocurrency industry, blockchain industry, and the mining industry. There are news information and in-depth structured reports. If you think our channel is valuable, you are welcome to forward and follow it. You can also become our member. So let us become rich together and add a zero to our assets in the bull market. See you tomorrow.